So Michael, client calls you, starting a new business. It's his brother, cousin, first cousin. They're super close, no issues. Very simple business, but it's their first one. And they say, I just want a simple operating agreement. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this. Just something to put it in writing, right? What's your first reaction? I know what mine is, but tell yours.
My first reaction to hearing that is, oh God, here we go again. And it's also, you don't know what you don't know, and that's why you came to us,
Yeah.
because we do know. And it's important for your attorney to not just, in effect, be a yes man or yes woman to whatever you want. It's important for them to counsel you and to advise and to be forceful at certain times. Say,
Yeah.
no, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way, but also have the ability to back it up with, this is why we do it this way.
Yeah, it's called issue spotting. So number one job for a lawyer, whether it's in litigation or transactions, is identifying the issues. A lawyer knows the law, brings in the experts in the different areas of law, and analyzes it and says, these are the things that can go wrong. How do we solve it and make sure it doesn't happen, right? So one thing that we can do in terms of issue spotting when they just want a simple agreement is, step one, give them a few examples of simple doesn't include X, Y, and Z, and what that means if that happens, right? So you haven't accounted for the scenario where you know that this might happen. Let's say it's you don't feel like having that conversation. The person you're partnering with is in a bad relationship and they're about to get divorced, and you don't know how to bring that up. But you have to, right? So how do you address that? That's an issue that has consequences if it ends up in a dispute.
Absolutely, and I can't stress that enough. To your point, everything is rosy and great at the beginning when you're opening up a business. The partners are super excited. Everything's going to go great. We're going to make millions of dollars. But what happens when you don't? What happens when you're getting sued or the business is getting sued? What happens when your partner develops a drug problem? What happens when your partner is getting divorced? All of these things, unfortunately, are not contemplated in I just want a simple operating agreement. And I can't stress how important it is for those clients to just take a step back and listen to your attorney, because they've been there before.
One approach that we have is, telling the clients, if it's two people, I get it, everything's great, right? But what would you do? What provisions would you want in this if you had a third person that was a partner, and it was a third that was a complete stranger? Now approach that same analysis, and that's going to say, well, if that person was in here, I'd want X, Y, and Z, right? It's not you attacking your cousin or vice versa. And it's one final note is, it's always the thing that you're uncomfortable, right? You just mentioned everything is rosy and exciting. You're starting a new business. You're finally doing it. But it's the stuff that's going to disrupt that happiness that everyone avoids discussing and addressing, and that's the one thing that ends up becoming a problem, which is why it's in your gut now.
And last two thoughts on this. If you live and die by the mantra, it's just business, it's not personal, right? It's going to help you have those types of discussions. And the other thing is, what do you do when things don't go your way? Can you look at the document, and does the scenario that's occurring at that point in time, is it contemplated in the document? And if it is, you're going to be in a much better position.